Welcome back to the third part of the library database tutorial. Now let's work on display data. So I'm going to close that, and I need inside my system itself, which is the front end. This is the front end where I have all of these components. If I run it again, show it to you guys. That's it. That's the front end, and the back end is the database. So let me open them both. Okay, here is my database itself, and here is the main system, which is the front end, the back end, and the front end. This is the front end. If I run the front end, you guys will see the whole interface. There we go. But the back end, there's nothing happening there, even if I run it. So the next thing I want to do now is to work on display data. Okay, I've worked on clear, I've worked on add data. So now let's work on display data. So let's start from here. Okay, so we're gonna call that display data. There we go. No column. And the data that I want to display, I would like them to be displayed on the list box and the text box as well. So I'm going to start by saying book list, and that is my list box, if you guys can still recall, which is right here. Let's go right down. Book list. There we go. Now take it down. Book list dot delete whatever we have in there, and everything is gone. So we now use a for loop. For row in my database, this very one, this very library database, copy that, paste that in here, dot view. There. Then we now say book list dot insert the rows. Copy that again, paste that in there. Book list dot insert to end of rows. There. But this very function will not work, not until I create something in here. Okay, so to do that, I call the function view. Let's call it view data here. View data. So I'm going to create a function here that is going to be called view data. So come right down here, view data there, and my view data, what I want that to do is select from here, from the SQL itself. Okay, select from the SQLite.connect inside the database, and let's create I want the cursor. Then I also want it to execute, and for the execute I'm going to use selection statement there. That is going to be select everything from my database here, this very one. Copy and paste it right here. Okay, get rid of this one and close that there. So we now need to say, okay, because I need to return everything as a table. So I'm going to have to say rows equals current dot fetch all. Okay, and there. So let's close, and I'm going to have to return the rows. There we go. Right. Okay, all we need to do now is to try it out. Well, wait a minute, this is wrong. Take that off. All I'm just doing is calling the table because I've already called it here anyway. So take off the .db, and here we need to call our function, this one, display data. So let's copy that, and let's come right down to button display. There we go, that's button display. There we say comma command here equals that. So we should be able to call. So let's make sure this is saved and this one is saved as well. Okay guys, so this is my view data, and this very view data here, this function view data, has been called inside display data. Look. Alright, so now let's run it and see. Okay, let's enter something meaningful here. And oh, member type. Let's say the member type is, let's say it's a lecturer, and reference title, let's say it's a doctor, and the name happens to be Edward. Surname Edward Godson. Address is the number 1 Kuwaiti town. And postcode. Mobile number. And the book is, let's say the book name is let's say just maths, and no, book ID is maths. The author is Paul Roman. Date borrowed, let's say that is today, 2019. And the book can be borrowed for, let's say, 10 days. 10 here. That's how much we have to pay if fine. And here, due date, cost of that very book. There. All we need to do is click on add. There we go. And for us to be able to view all of the previous garbage that I enter, if I click on this, look at that guys, that is working. Look, this is the information of Dr. Eddie. You see that? That is working as expected. So I can clear this, add more data, and wherever I did not add anything should be left as no value at all. Okay, so let's click on add. There, that should give me number 14. Click and let's come right down to number 14. There we go, look at that. Okay, so clear is working, add is working, display works, this works, and delete, we ought to be able to delete anything from there. Update, search, and exit works. So we need 1, 2, 3 to work now because this works. Exit. Alright, so the next function is going to be, see, when I run this program, I would like to be able to, if I display all of this data and I double click on any of the data, I would like it to display all of those information here. So that's what I would like to do. So to achieve that, what I'm going to do is come right in here right inside my system itself, not the backup, or not the back end. This is the back end, so let's just put it there, back end, and this is my front end. Okay, so right here, let's come in here, create another function. This very function, I'm going to call it select or selected books. Selected book. So let's have an event in there. Okay, for this selected book, I'm going to declare be a global variable, and I'll just call it S. That's my global variable there. Then I like you to search inside the books. So let's say search book equals book list. The book list is my list box dot current selection, and the parameter is 0 and there. Now SB itself, which means search book, SB equals book list dot get whatever I have inside search book here. There. Right, that is that. But there's one more thing. I'm going to have to call this inside my list box. So let's scroll right down, look for the list box. There we go. That's my list box there. So right inside the list box, I'm going to enter as follows. Maybe I should put it up here. So I'm going to say list box, I would like you to bind as follows, and do that. For book list dot bind, open a parameter, and what do you want me to bind? So let's say list box select, close that, and where will the information come from? Right from there. And let's just close that, and hopefully that should work. Okay, now that I've called the function in here, one more thing that is meant to be done right inside our very function is we should also have called all of these text box. So I'm going to copy all of this, copy, come right down here, right inside the function, and paste. Now the next thing is I have to now give each of them a value. So this one is going to be known as, I'm going to copy this, self txt mtype dot insert, and that is going to be end comma sb, and the value is going to be value 1. Close that. That is the very first one. So the same thing will be repeated for the rest. So I'm going to copy these as well, come to the next one here, paste, and just change the name around. There, and this value will be 2. Right. Repeat the same thing for the next one. Undo that. Copy this. Paste, and then copy this very one. There, and this is 3. and so on. So I'll finish up with that and get back to you guys shortly. Okay, function selected book, that is it, completed. So have a good look at the lines of codes there. You're gonna need that. There we go. Check it out. In total I have 18 columns there. And then you see this very function selected books was then called inside the list box here. There we go. Look at it. I bind it onto the list box. So when I double click on the list box, it should display every single component selected on the entry widget itself. Alright guys, we will now run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. The first thing I'll do is click to display all of my information. Look at that. Supposing we want to search for, get more details about Dr. Eddie here, just click on that. Look at it, Dr. Eddie. Okay, look at all of those information. Oh, this is wrong. This should be here and that should be here. Okay, that needs to be corrected anyway. Alright, but the system works the way we expect it to work. So I need to find out who is where, but it's working how we want. Right, that is it. That's not where it was meant to be. As you can see, BkID is in the wrong place. First name should be there, so let's change that to cut that off. First name and first name here. And BkID will be where we have first name. Alright, it's just minor errors that needs to be taken care of. In any case, that is how it works. Okay, the correction has been dealt with and each of the components are now in their rightful position. So have a good look at it. Okay, so we're going to now run it and see how it looks like. Run, and let's display all of the data and click on this valid data here. There we go. Okay, that is fine. Alright, I will now need to take care of delete, update, and reset and search. So let's exit out. Okay, the first thing is I'm going to create another function right underneath here. Let's create that right underneath here. Press enter, and in there I'm going to call it define function delete data, right there. And inside delete data, all I'm just going to enter is, I can just copy one or two stuff here instead of typing. Okay, let's copy this and okay, that's all I can copy there. Paste that in here, and the next thing I'd like to do is I'm going to get the name of my data of my backend file itself. That is the name of my backend file. Copy that, come right down here, paste that in there. Dot, I'm going to call it delete record. So delete record will be the next function I'm going to create inside my data. So I'm going to call it I think it's SB. My global variable is called what? SB. That is correct. Look at it right here. Okay, which means it can be used within any components. Okay, SB, that's the value that will be inside my parameter, and that will be 0. Close that. So what about the clear? Let's see. Have I created clear there? Yes, I have. clear data. So I'm going to call clear data. Let's call clear data in there, and yeah, just call clear data. Clear data. What about display? Let's see. I have display data as well. I'm going to call display data as well. Clear data and display data. There. Of course, this is not going to do anything for now until, let me copy this first and call it inside my command button here. Command button delete. Just going to come in here, press enter, comma, press enter, command equals delete. Alright, now that is called. Okay, the next thing is to actually write a function. This function is going to be known as delete record. Copy delete record and come right in here. Okay, bring it down here. Yeah, move it up a little bit. And this function is going to be known as function. And what I want you to do is as follows. So it's going to be, I want you to delete from here. Okay, copy that and just paste that right in there. And all I just need to do now is to change the query itself. So that will be delete from, get rid of the star, delete from book, library book, where, let's say ID equals, and that's it. Let's say comma ID. You must enter a comma here. There we go. That's it. And this fish, we have to get rid of that. And enter. We want it to comment actually. There we go. And that is the delete. So I've already called the function in here. Before we run it, there must be ID here. Yeah. Okay. Else it won't take on any parameter. Let's save it as well. File, save, and let's come in here now. Test it out. There we go. Display, and let's delete some of this garbage in here. Let's see. There we go. 1, 2. That's fine. You see that, guys? Delete is working. And let's delete this one as well. That's rubbish. Yeah. Okay, my delete works, guys. Okay, I'm going to write 2 more functions, one for update data and one for search. So let's assume we add more data in here. So let's go for type. In this case happens to be student. I'm going to enter some valid data in there, and the title is Mace, and the name is Grace South End. Address of Mid South End is 4 Rich Close. Okay, address number 2, let's say Hall, and mobile number. Okay, those are the other data centers. So if I click on add, so we have that in there, and we can view both data, select anyone. So let's go in there and complete these 2. Alright, I'm gonna have to speed it up because of time, so let's exit out. Yeah. Okay guys, let me show you the codes. In here I have the function, the 2 functions for search data and update data. So let's increase that so that you see that. And those are the function right inside the database itself. Okay, and that is supposed to be the back end there. That is for the search function, and these lines of code are for the update function. So have a good look at it, and in fact have a good look at all of the codes that make up the back end. Bring it down and there. Okay, minimize that. And for the front end, the main system itself, here are the lines of codes for the search function and for the update function. And there. And up here, because my database has such names, so I decided to comment it all out, the meaning of each abbreviation. So what I'm going to do now is I will run the program and you guys see it. But for your information, you do need to understand this abbreviation for my database, because this is how I've named all of the database. Okay, and let me show you guys the search function again. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you guys is where I call those two functions, the search database and the update. Scroll right down where I have my buttons, right there, and I have the search here, and right here I have the update. Okay, so I'm now going to run it. So have a good look at where I call it. So this is the front end, like I said earlier on. Let's have a good look at it. For those of you who are member of my channel, you can always put in your request if you want the line of code, the lines of codes. So to be a member, all you need to do is to pay £4.99, and you will be a member of the channel. So that will help with the development of the channel and buying equipment. So let's run it now, guys, and see how it works. There we go. And for your information, there will be more database tutorial on Python. So if you want, we can add any data in there. Let's add whatever we want in there. That we will get rid of, because it doesn't make sense. And also, okay, add. There we go. We can display the data, we can clear, and we can search. Let's search for NAS. Use the search engine. There we go. That's NAS information. Okay, and you see how the search works. Alright, so we can clear and display all of the data, add more information, and this very one, let's get rid of that. So go to delete, hit delete. You see that it's gone. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.